This is Real Talk, Real People. This is current events. And as you may know, this is a This Week in the World. We're going to be touching on quite a few subjects tonight. The first of which will be Kobe, Mr. Kobe Bryant. We'll be diving into that, um, every facet of it, and his untimely death, along with his 13-year-old daughter, we believe, and I believe 9 other passengers in this chopper. So we will be getting into that tonight. I would definitely caution you all and tell you all something that you already know. Tomorrow is not promised. And whenever someone dies, what is we see a moment of shock followed by a moment of deep introspection about ourselves. Um, and that's real. That's real. Because the first thing we say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. And then we immediately, and it's okay that we do this. You're only human. We're all human. Immediately we start thinking about ourselves and how we wonder, are we living our lives to the fullest? If we died right then or tomorrow, would we be satisfied with the lives that we lived? So death always brings that level of introspection. Apologize for the tone. Death always believes that level of introspection. So that's something to think about. So yes, on tonight we will be getting to Kobe Bryant. We'll be going over his career highlights, what exactly happened, what went wrong, to the best of our knowledge, to what the reports are saying. We will be going over the politics today. We're going to be getting into what the president, Trump 45, has done last week. He did a lot of stuff last week, and what's going on with impeachment currently, what's popping with that. We'll get into what the Democrats are doing, specifically the idea of loan forgiveness, which is part of the platform of Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and maybe a few other Democrats on the campaign trail. And we'll get into that and see what that actually looks like. Sounds great to me, but is it really? Loan forgiveness. And then we'll wrap it all up by going into the coronavirus, what you need to know about it and how to protect yourself. Unfortunately, there are quite a few things, uh, for lack of a better term, going on in China right now. Total cities in quarantine. Wuhan is the epicenter, ground zero for this disease, this virus that is quickly jumping from person to person, almost like a venom symbiote. So we'll be getting into that. I actually got some footage and a recording from inside China, that I'm going to share with you guys. I will warn you before I put it on towards the end of the show, because it is graphic, but you guys are going to actually be able to see what's happening. And it's going to be from a nurse in Wuhan. Uh, it's gonna. I don't want to freak you guys out, but I will tell you, and as I always tell you, context is everything. And I will never present something to you that I don't have a tangible answer for to help you. Okay. Don't forget to sound off in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And we'll be getting into this. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to do a little screen sharing as well, so we can kind of go through this together for some parts of this. But let's go ahead and set up the scene with Kobe. And we're going to do a little screen share. All right. So you should see my screen right now. We're gonna get into it. And also later, like I said, if any of you guys have been personally touched by Kobe Bryant, you know, his story, his triumphs, his championships, his trials, all of that. If any of that's really spoken to you, I definitely would invite you to come on. Just let me know. I'll send you the link. That way, you guys can go ahead and get on, and you guys could tell us your personal stories in regards to Kobe. I mean, maybe a lot of you haven't met him, but if we are on social media, if we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everyone's having stories and talking about how Kobe personally affected them and how great of a loss this is. So feel free, sound off in the comments, or if you want, come on, and tell us your Kobe story. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at this. Kobe Bean Bryant. Didn't know this. Didn't know that was his middle name. Kobe Bryant, August 23rd, 1978 to January 26, 2020. Was an American professional basketball player, a shooting guard. Bryant played his entire 20 season career in the National Basketball Association, aka the NBA, for the Los Angeles Lakers. Wow. He entered the NBA directly from high school and won 5 championships. Bryant was an 18-time All-Star, 15-time member of All NBA team, 12-time member of All Defensive team, and the 2008 NBA Most Valuable Player, widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He led the NBA in scoring during 2 seasons, ranks 4th on the league's all-time regular season scoring, and ranks 4th on the all-time postseason scoring list. Bryant was the first guard in NBA history to play at least 20 seasons. According to Forbes, Bryant's net worth was estimated at $350 million in 2016. There are current estimates that put Kobe Bryant close to or at $800 million as of today. Bryant was the son of a former NBA player, Joe Bryant. I never knew that. He attended Loren Marin High School in Pennsylvania, where he was born. He was recognized as the top high school basketball player in the country. Upon graduation, he declared for the 1996 NBA draft and was selected by Charlotte Hornets with the 13th overall pick. The Hornets then traded him to the Lakers as a rookie. Bryant earned himself a reputation as a high flyer and a fan favorite by winning the 1997 Slam Dunk Contest and was named an All-Star by his second season. Despite a feud between 2 players, Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal led the Lakers to 3 consecutive NBA championships, 2000 and 2002. So, man, don't they wish they had kept Kobe? I would have kept Kobe. Let's see what the comments say. I feel bad for the people who are not as famous, like nobody talks about them. Can you try to play the video of sound bites from right before the plane crash? That's going to be a bit tough. I haven't found it right before the plane crash. I do know there were reports that, well, we'll kind of get into that a little later, but there are reports that the pilot was warned he was flying too low. So that could be something. And we'll actually get to this because there's a second segment to this that I want to break down. After I go over Kobe and what he's done, I want to address something in regards to disrespect to Kobe Bryant and the disrespect him and his family have been getting. And in general, the lack of compassion and regard some people have for Kobe and Kobe's fans and those that were touched by him. That's going to be a little later, though. All right. So we see 2003, Bryant was accused. Well, we'll skip that part. One thing we don't speak ill of the dead. Again, accusations are not convictions. So we're going to skip that. After the Lakers lost the 2004 NBA Finals, O'Neal was traded to Miami Heat, and Bryant became the cornerstone of the Lakers. He led the NBA in scoring during 2005-06 and 2006-07 seasons. In 2006, he scored a career high of 81 points against the Toronto Raptors, the second most points scored in a single game. in league history behind Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game in 1962. Bryant was awarded the regular season's most valuable player, MVP, in 2008, and after Lakers lost in the 2008 finals, Bryant led the team to 2 consecutive championships in 2009 and 2010, earning the finals MVP award on both occasions. He suffered a torn Achilles tendon at the age of 34. They thought he was going to be out of the game. And he did end up retiring after, the 2015-2016 season. At 34 years, 104 days of age, Bryant became the youngest player in league history to reach 30,000 career points. Interesting fact, LeBron James, he just passed that, I think, a few days ago, just before Kobe died. He became the all-time leading scorer in the Lakers franchise history on February 1st, 2010, and when he surpassed Jerry West. During his third year in the league, Bryant was chosen to start All-Star game and was selected to start the game for a record 18 consecutive appearances until his retirement. This man is decorated. He's a veteran. At 2008 to 2012 Summer Olympics, he won 2 gold medals as a member of the U.S. national team. In 2018, he won the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film for his film, Dear Basketball. Now, if you remember, 2 years ago, people were tripping. Kobe Bryant winning an Academy Award? Remember how much crap they gave him? This man is diverse in what he deals with. And then ultimately we get to Bryant's death, January 26, 2020, in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California. 8 others, including his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna Bryant, were also killed. Out of respect for the family, I won't be showing any photos of the daughter. I do have one family photo here, but you know how YouTube gets about showing children in the video, so we're gonna not show that. But you can go on YouTube if you'd like to see what his family looked like. Okay, he was 6'6", his listed weight 212 pounds. Again, he was with the Lakers for his entire career, 1996 to 2016. As you can see, the man is highly decorated here. 5-time NBA champion, 2-time NBA Finals MVP, 18-time NBA All-Star, 4-time NBA All-Star Game MVP, 11-time All-NBA First Team, 2-time All-NBA Second Team, 2-time NBA Third Team, 9-time NBA All-Defensive First Team, 3-time NBA All-Defensive Second Team, 2-time NBA Scoring Champion, 1997 Slam Dunk Contest, NBA All-Star Rookie Second Team. Again, the man is decorated. Career statistics: 33,643 points, 7,047 rebounds. And let's see here. Assists: 6,306. Okay. Represent America, played in the Olympic Games. Another thing, this guy isn't just basketball. He definitely has a diverse array of things that he does. And I definitely want to highlight some of those things. Let's take a look off the court. 1999, 21-year-old Bryant met 17-year-old Vanessa Lane while she was working as a background dancer for the East Side's music video, Get Up. Bryant was in the building and working on his debut musical album. The two began to date and became engaged just 6 months later in May 2000. While Lane was still a senior at Marina High School in Huntington Beach, California, to avoid media scrutiny, she finished high school through independent study. According to Vanessa's cousin, Layla Lane, there was no prenuptial agreement. Vanessa said Bryant loved her too much for one. Damn, didn't even do the prenup. He was on it. They married at April 18th, 2001 at St. Edward's Confessor Catholic Church in Dana Point, California. The wedding was not attended by Bryant's parents, his 2 sisters, his longtime advisor, and agent Aaron Tellum, or his Laker teammates. Bryant's parents were opposed to the marriage for a number of reasons. Reportedly, Bryant's parent had a problem with him marrying so young, especially to a woman who was not African American. Hey, mom and daddy don't like it. It is what it is. You know, this disagreement resulted in a strange period of over 2 years, which ended with the couple's first daughter was born. Tell you, man, those babies really change things. Bryant's first child, Natalia, was born in January 2003. The birth resulted in a reconciliation between Bryant and his parents, thank God, due to an ectopic pregnancy. Vanessa suffered a miscarriage in the spring of 2005. Their second daughter, Gianna, who was unfortunately taken with her father a couple of days ago. Gianna was born in May 2006. On December 16th, 2011, Vanessa Bryant filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences, and the couple requested joint custody of their daughters. On January 11th, 2013, Bryant and his wife both announced via social media that they called off their divorce. Beautiful. Early December 2016, Vanessa gave birth to their third daughter, Bianca. In January 2013, the Bryants announced they were expecting a fourth daughter. Their daughter, Capri Kobe, was born June 2019. That's sad. A new daughter. All right. Bryant was a practicing Catholic. Who knew? In 2013, he had a legal disagreement with the auction house over memorabilia from his early years that his mother intended to auction. Man, that family's crazy. Pamela Bryant received $450,000 from the auction house for the items, claimed Bryant had given her the rights to the items and had remaining in her home. However, his lawyer asked the auction house to return the items to Bryant. Before the scheduled trial, settlement was reached for sale less than 10% of the original items. Bryant's parents apologized to him in a written statement which acknowledged the financial support Bryant had provided them in the past. So, what do you got there? You have Kobe and his parents, man, they have not had an easy time. They've not. They were upset with his decision to marry a non-black woman. They were upset he got married so young. And apparently he's been offering them support. And this is just my opinion, but based off of this, they've been screwing off with the money. And now they're auctioning off his old room items. I mean, come on, man. Get it together. Get it together. January 2002, Bryant bought a Mediterranean-style house for $4 million, located in the cul-de-sac of Newport Coast, Newport Beach. He sold the house in 2015. Bryant still spoke Italian proficiently. He also conducted press interviews in Spanish and nicknamed the Black Mamba, citing his basketball skills to mimic the Apollonius snake's ability to strike with 99% accuracy at maximum speed and rapid succession. The man's good. He was a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles, and he was also a fan of the soccer teams Barcelona, AC Milan, and Manchester City. A whole bunch of endorsements. Adidas loved him. Sprite loved him. You got McDonald's Upper Deck. I mean, the man, he's a household name. He truly is a household name. Let's see here. He was featured in so many video games. And let's see here. Had a brief stint in music. Sony pushed Bryant from his roots of underground hip hop into more radio-friendly sound. His debut album, Visions, was scheduled to release in spring of 2000. The first single, Kobe, featured supermodel Tyra Banks singing the hook. The single debuted in January 2000 and was performed at NBA All-Star Weekend that month. Song was not well received. But when you got money, you can do stuff like that. Come on. Sony abandoned plans for the album and it was never released. Wow. But then he was featured in a Taiwanese singer Jay Choi's single, Heaven and the Earth Challenge, pronounced Tian Diu Dio. and proceeds of the downloads from both singles and ringtones were donated to impoverished schools for basketball facilities and equipment. That's tight. That's tight. Um, Rapper Lil Wayne titled the song Kobe Bryant. Similarly, rapper Sho Baraka released a song called Kobe Bryant on Him. He was on All That in 2000 and Ridiculousness in 2019. Bryant was official ambassador of After School All Stars, which was an American nonprofit organization that provides comprehensive after school programs to children in 13 U.S. cities. Bryant also started the Kobe Bryant China Fund, which partnered with Suong Ching-ling Foundation, a charity backed by Chinese government. The Kobe Bryant China Fund raised money for China earmarked education and health programs. Santa, he was definitely on the duty. November 4th, 2010, Bryant appeared alongside Zach Braff at the Call of Duty Black Ops launch at the event at Santa Monica Airport, where they presented $1 million check to the Call of Duty Endowment, which was a nonprofit that helps veterans transition to civilian life. So definitely a lot of philanthropic deals, tons of business ventures. Bryant and his business partner, Jeff Steibel, launched the Bryant Steibel venture capital firm focused on different businesses, including media, data, gaming, technology, with $100 million in funding. Beautiful. He purchased, initial investment of 10% stake in the Body Armor Super Drink company for $6 million in March 2014. Wow, he really did that. That's really getting popular now. Let's see here. And then Bryant became the first African American to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film. Damn. And the first former professional athlete to be nominated to win an Academy Award in any category for his film Dear Basketball. He also had a book, The Mamba Mentality, How I Play, with photographs and afterword by Andrew D. Bernstein, introduction by Phil Jackson, and a foreword by Paul Gasol, and published by MCD. Wow. So we're going to go ahead and get into the death, and then we're going to go ahead and go over what I wanted to talk about in regards to the disrespect. At 9:06 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, January 26, 2020, Sikorsky S-76 helicopter departed from John Wayne Airport in Orange County, California, with 9 people aboard. Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, 6 family friends, and the pilot. The helicopter was registered to the Fillmore-based Island Express Holdings Corporation, according to the California Secretary of State Business Database. The group was traveling to a practice session at Bryant's Mamba Academy in Thousand Oaks, where he was expected to coach. Due to light rain and foggy weather that morning, LAPD helicopters and most other air traffic were grounded. The flight tracker shows that the helicopter experienced issues while above the LA Zoo. The helicopter circled the area 6 times at an altitude of around 150 feet. At 9:30 a.m., the pilot, Ara Zobayan, contacted the Burbank Airport's control tower, notifying the tower of the situation, was told he was flying too low to be tracked by radar. At that time, the helicopter experienced extreme fog, turned south towards the mountains. At 9:40 a.m., helicopter climbed to 1,200 to 2,000 feet, flying at 161 knots or 185 miles per hour. At 9:45 a.m., the helicopter crashed in the side of a mountain in Calabasas, about 30 miles northwest of downtown Los Angeles, and caught on fire. This also started a quarter-acre bushfire. At 9:47 a.m., authorities were called. The helicopter had passed over Boyle Heights near Dodger Stadium and circled over Glendale during the flight. Personnel from Los Angeles County Fire Department attended the scene. Paramedics rappelled from a helicopter to the scene to look for survivors. The fire was difficult to extinguish due to the presence of magnesium, but the fire had been extinguished by 10:30 a.m. None of the 9 occupants survived. Initial reports indicate the helicopter crashed in the hills above Calabasas in heavy fog. Witnesses report hearing a helicopter struggling before crashing. And there's been an official investigation launched by the FBI and the Federal Aviation Administration and National Transport Safety Board. So that's what happened to Kobe, his daughter, and those others. Now, a couple questions, right? The first question said, I feel bad for the people who were not as famous, like nobody talks about them. People talk about them. Again, these were friends and family friends that were all on here. Again, Kobe Bryant is the famous one. You know, um, when any celebrity dies in a car crash with someone else, if they're not famous, they're not mentioned. That doesn't make them any less important. But I haven't been able to find the names of these people. So again, that may be why people aren't talking about it. That's what I would say. Um, now, let's get real. I mean, I've always been real, but let's get real, right? It has come to my attention. I'm actually gonna push this up here. I'm gonna let you guys see this. There was a situation where they were talking about, a prediction of Kobe's demise. So I'm gonna play a video here from a cartoon that came out years ago that predicted Kobe would die by helicopter crash. How strange, how weird. And does that, you know, is it just a coincidence? Is it just a prediction? Or is there more to it? I'm going to go ahead and put this on the screen. And we're going to go ahead and play that. Okay. So I don't know if you heard that. I saw a tweet from 2012 that predicted it too. Yes, there's a tweet from 2012 that predicted Kobe was going to die that way. There was. And it's insane. So I'm going to go ahead and play. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to let you hear the audio on this. Let's go ahead and do it again.
Oh, shit! It's Kobe Bryant!
Help me.
Just pass me the trophies and we'll pull you out.
Pass. He's with Shaq in.
So what's up with that, right? And hey, Alyssa, what's up with that? What is going on with that, right? That's a bit weird to me. We see these type of things with, The Simpsons predicted it, all these other things. It could be a coincidence, but man, having social media and actually being able to archive this stuff, you're able to connect dots that you wouldn't normally be able to connect. But shoot, before we were able to record and play back TV, you'd see something once and you wouldn't be able to connect the dots. So it's a very interesting type of situation that's transpired, right? I just thought that was odd. But let's look at this. Let's look at this. We're gonna talk about the disrespect of Kobe Bryant. We're gonna talk about the disrespect here. I'm gonna play this one for you guys as well. As some of you have heard, this is recording. I feel like I should say her name, but you guys can look this chick up. This chick, well, I'll just let her speak for herself, right? Viewer discretion is advised.
That was perfectly cast.
on the Los Angeles Lakers. Kavita, if I could ask you to stay with us, we're gonna.
Of course, we're back to.
So, Freudian slip, maybe, probably not. Probably not. I'll play that again. I know it was quick, but do you think she was saying Los Angeles knackers or naggers? What did this sound like to you? I'll play it again.
Star that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers. Kavita, if I could ask you to stay with us, we're gonna.
Of course, we're back to.
So she's Los Angeles, the N words, Los Angeles and N words, huh? She's a reporter for a news outlet, and no one gave her the correct intel. She didn't know who he was. She didn't know. I mean, he didn't play for 4 or 5 different teams like Kevin Durant or LeBron James. I'm no shade. He's been a Laker his whole entire career, and you're telling me you didn't know who the Lakers were? You didn't know who Kobe Bryant was? Your aide, your research didn't tell you who he was? And how would you disrespect this man's team and this man's name? Unforgivable. Unforgivable. Alyssa, I do agree. It is weird and it's not just coincidence. I agree with that 100%. Let's look at some more disrespect. I hate to show this, but I'm going to go ahead and show this. This got me hot. This got me hot. This was a shout out to O'Shea Du Jackson. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel. I'm subscribed to him, and he was showing me what he saw on Instagram. I will read this tweet out, or I will read this Facebook post out. It was on Facebook. And this is how some people think. This is how some women feel in the community. Please, Black women do not mourn over a Black man who won't be leaving his legacy and wealth behind to a Black wife or children. That man's death, life, legacy, and wealth does not benefit you financially nor spiritually. Stop crying over men and begging for the affection of men who never wanted you. In the peak of their success, they ain't buying us mansions and Birkins. So why even give a fuck about their death, existence, or anything of that matter? Wow. Wow, indeed. Can you believe someone said that? Can you believe it? So let's get this right. Kobe Bryant's life amounted to nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I just put you in timeout for 5 minutes. Don't fuck around. Yeah, Kobe's life amounted to nothing because he was not providing his wealth was not going to be left to a Black woman. And not all sisters, but some sisters are upset about that. Some sisters are hot about that. And it's almost like a what have you done for me lately type of dichotomy. And that's just insane. I don't hear Black men talk about Serena Williams is with the Reddit guy and she's not leaving anything for Black men. And so we shouldn't support Serena Williams. That's so stupid and idiotic. You would never hear that because that's not how it is, you know? Now, I get it. I get the idea. I understand Black folks do and should, work within the community and provide for one another. Because if we don't, no one will. That's quite understandable. But when you disrespect someone and try to poo-poo their legacy, a dead man, a dead person, that is completely unseemly, unbecoming, and it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And I definitely got to do a video on this. Because where do we get off trying to tarnish the legacy of dead people? Why? When has it ever been cool to talk ill of the dead? You can talk about someone while they're alive because they can defend themselves, but you don't try to character assassinate a dead person. What kind of stuff is that? What kind of cowardly um what kind of coward crap is that? You gonna talk? That's the ultimate talking behind somebody's back. That's cowardly. You're a coward if you do that. Stop being a coward. And no one should stand for that. If you ever see somebody talk ill of a dead person, I don't give a damn. You check them immediately. We don't allow stuff like that. We don't play those games ever. And it blows my mind. Where's the decorum? You know? And people talk about we're in 2020. They love to say we're in 2020. We're so much better than we were 1950s, 1960s, early 1900s, 1800s, 1700s. Are we? Are we? I don't know sometimes. When I see messages like this, when I listen to the news and hear stuff like this, when you hear reports of journalists few hours after Kobe died, they were posting up these maybe feminists or whoever, they were posting up stuff about Kobe's sexual allegations, which he was never convicted of any of this, but the sexual allegations, again, immediately trying to destroy and tarnish the reputation of a good person overall. Everybody makes mistakes. None of us here that are listening have not made mistakes. He, without saying, cast the first stone. None of us can. But I'll be damned, and you should be damned if someone tries to assassinate the character of a dead person. Because if they'll do it to them, they'll do it to you. If not for them, do it for yourself. Don't disrespect dead people. Don't do it. Say everything you need to say to that person while they're alive. When they're dead, it's off limits. It's off the table. We don't tolerate disrespect. To the sisters that are upset that Kobe is leaving all of his money to his children and his Hispanic wife, his Latino wife, tough shit. We don't watch anyone else's pockets. We don't watch black women's pockets, telling them what they should and shouldn't do with their money. We don't tell Oprah what she should do. Oprah just does what she does and we accept it. Right? Anyone else, we wouldn't dare tell Oprah what to do with her money. And if let's say Oprah left her money to Stedman, which we'll see if he gets, a little something. But or what are we gonna do? Are we gonna pocket watch these people? No. They weren't with him shooting in the gym. If you weren't in the gym supporting and watching Kobe, if you were not married to Kobe, if you didn't have Kobe's kids, you can't speak on Kobe. Now, yes, as a black person, you should feel some sort of want to give back to the community. But that's a practice we all should use. That's a practice we all should practice. No matter if we've got $800 million or if we've got $10, we should be investing that within the community and making it greater. And we shouldn't expect rich people to come to our aid so we can continue doing the same things we're doing without making any changes to make ourselves greater. No way. We got to take responsibility and get out of people's pockets. So That's what I wanted to say about Kobe. That's what I wanted to say about the disrespect. You know, I'll be honest with you. I don't watch basketball like that. I'm not a Kobe fan, but when I see someone get disrespected, when I see a legacy there that should be celebrated and should be remembered, I feel like I need to step in. And you know what? I'm not totally affected by Kobe's death. People die every day, but there are tons of people that you've seen on your feeds, on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on your Twitter that are heartbroken that their hero, their legend, their friend, their mentor has passed. Condolences to his family, condolences to the fans, you know. But as the good Lord says, absent of the body, present with the Lord. And the good thing about that situation is that he wasn't alone. And you know what? If his daughter was scared, if his daughter was worried, she had her father with her in the end. And I guarantee you, they were right next to each other. He was holding on to her, she was holding on to him, and they just closed their eyes. And I pray to God it was over in an instant. I pray the impact was enough that they just closed their eyes and they were gone. That's all we can hope. I don't believe his body's been recovered yet, or her body, or I think a few of the bodies were recovered, but I think there's 6 remaining. God bless them and their family. As I said in the beginning, take this time to be thankful. Take this time to reevaluate your own lives, just like I'm doing, and take your time to live your life and be happy and leave a mark, leave a footprint. Kobe Bryant leaves a huge footprint. His work speaks for himself. Kobe Bryant didn't talk much. He was a doer, not a talker. And everything that he did meant something, said something. We should want to be like Kobe. Anyone in the chat? Anyone got any Kobe stories? Feel anything about Kobe? Has Kobe impacted any of you? How does it make you guys feel? You know what? One of my I hope he doesn't mind if I share this. Hope this doesn't strike my video down, but maybe we'll my friend literally just posted a tribute to Kobe, his daughter and his legacy in a very retro vaporwave video. So let's play that for you guys. That should be a treat. That'll be like a world premiere. Okay, let's play that.
How many rings do you want? Because you told me 10 a little while ago. I said, man, greedy. You want all of them. Well, I got 10 fingers. So you want to put them all up? Might as well try.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. That was wonderful. Shout out to Brian Lee. I will see if I can get the link. Hopefully he's putting that on YouTube. I will definitely see if I can get a link, and then I will put that in the description. But yeah, that was just uploaded like 6 minutes ago. So you guys are some of the first to actually see that. Brilliant, brilliant. All right. So at this point, let's see here. Alyssa said, even though there's some negative stuff, I've mostly seen love for him on social media. Yeah, definitely a lot of love. Some people don't get it, you know. I'm sure I would feel the same way if I don't know who. Let me see. What's Bruce Springsteen? If Bruce Springsteen died, I'd probably be like, what? But I wouldn't shit on anyone. You know, if someone likes Bruce Springsteen and, you know, he touched them in a way that others can understand or a group of people can understand, that's fine. You know, just don't crap on them. I would never crap on somebody, you know. We all experience things differently. So I agree. Mio JP, not a huge impact, but at least you deserve some respect. Agreed, sir. All right. So I want to transition over to our lovely president, Donald Trump, right? So last week was a heck of a week. And I'm going to tell you exactly, not just impeachment, but the guy's been busy. So let me kind of show you what's been going on. It'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. Okay, so let me put this here. Here we go. So let's go ahead and move that. So this is interesting, right? This is very interesting. I'm not going to play the audio, but you guys are going to kind of get what's going on here. And we'll see if you guys can go ahead and connect the dots here, because this is beyond interesting. The guy has been busy. And then one more. Let's see here. All right. So check this out. There's going to be three things I'm going to show you guys. And the first one we're looking at is immigration news, birth tourism, border wall costs, and travel ban expansion. He's going all in, right? So this is interesting. This past week, the Trump administration contemplated drastic new changes to our nation's immigration policies. The U.S. has announced it will place visa restrictions on pregnant women traveling to the United States. The aim, it says, is to curb the so-called birth tourism. There have also been reports that the travel ban will be expanded to include some African countries. And the price tag of the Trump's border wall, we have learned, $11 billion, would make it the most expensive wall anywhere in the world. Let's see here. We're not going to go into the interview too much, but this is interesting. Let's see here. Let's see here. So this is part of the interview. So this administration is taking aim at illegal and legal immigration, but let's start with the restrictions on visas for pregnant women. Why did they do it? So this is just an opinion. Just like you said, they're trying to curb the practice that they've coined birth tourism, in which women come to the United States explicitly to take advantage of what's called birthright citizenship. The fact that anyone born in the United States gets U.S. citizenship, the president has threatened, therefore, to enact an executive order to destroy really birthright citizenship. So this issue, even though it's quite small, has always been a bit of a pet issue for them. Yeah, we should say it's not clear how big an issue so-called birth tourism is. The State Department said they announced that they estimate it involves thousands of children. That's a quote. But there are 3.8 million births in 2018 in the United States. The Center of Disease Control estimates that each year 10,000 less babies are born in the United States to foreign national women who reside outside the United States. So think that's a relatively small issue. Okay. So let's stay there. So they are banning. She said, I'm offended because I was born in New York. Such a troll. What topic are we on? We are talking about, we're into politics. We're talking about Trump's ban on giving pregnant women visas to come to the United States for fear they may have a child in the United States and thus have a way to stay giving their child birthright citizenship. He wants to, quote unquote, close that loophole. Now, let's see if he really closed that loophole, because we need to let's find out what countries does he want to ban. Let's see, I'm finding it right now. Okay. So we need to know. So okay. All right. Let me lay this out for you guys. Okay. I'm bringing up another NPR news article. Let's go ahead and close that. Let's close that. I'm bringing up this. This is another NPR news article. I'm going to read this. And this is another interview. To the best of your knowledge, is this a policy that also extends to the Department of Homeland Security officers? So that's what's interesting about this. This is a State Department regulation, which means it only applies to anybody that needs a visa to travel to the United States. It will not apply to 39 countries who participate in a program called the Visa Waiver Program. Foreign nationals from these countries do not need to go to a consulate and obtain a visa to travel to the United States, so it won't apply to them. And those countries are generally the Western, more industrialized nations. But this new rule applies to everybody else. So as you can see, this is also having some racial disparities, which is extremely concerning for many of us. So what 39 countries are they talking about that are part of the Visa Waiver Program that will allow pregnant women to travel to the United States? Let's take a look. And let's see if you guys notice any racial undertones as well. Okay. Andorra, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Brunei, Chile, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Republic of Korea, Latvia, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Monaco, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Poland, Portugal, San Marino, Singapore, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Taiwan, and the United Kingdom. Okay, so what did you notice about all of those people? What did you notice about all those people, all those countries, and the people from those countries? Those people, well, I'm not gonna spell it. Do I have to spell it out for you? Clearly, there are racial undertones here, overtones actually, because if you look at all these people and the people that hail from these various countries, um, not one, except for a few exceptions, are darker than a brown paper bag, right? Right. So it's okay for lighter skin model minorities, quote unquote, and Europeans and Eurasians and Asians to come over to the United States and without a travel visa and potentially have children. But anyone darker than a brown paper bag or everybody else that is not white, they're banned. When I first saw this, I thought to myself, am I crazy? Or is this textbook racism? This is truly textbook racism. I mean, if you looked up racism in a text in a dictionary, this is what it would be. And I was just floored. And no one's talking about this. No one's no one's saying like what? No one's tripping out. Like no one's like, this is just flying under the radar. Like this is cool. Oh, okay, it's okay. I'd be cool with a pregnant travel ban, um, to stop birthright citizenship if it was for everyone. But basically what you're trying to say is we want more white, quote unquote, white immigrants to come over and travel and come to the United States to, again, have more babies and bolster up the number of white people or who are classified as white people in the United States. But anyone darker than that, anyone else, oh, we don't want them. We don't want them coming over having babies. So as you saw in the previous article, it was thousands of people versus 3.8 births are being born. Thousands of them are from this birthright citizen birth tourism thing that they're trying to coin. That's what they're trying to stave off. So, it just doesn't make sense. So I looked at this and I thought I was crazy. Asked a few people, they're like, no, that's pretty racist. And that is. And I just can't believe no one's talking about this. So that was crazy. That happened last week. Let's look at something else. Let's look at a good thing. Quiet. A good thing that he's done. Okay. So, well, I guess it depends on where you fall on this. All right. Trump tells anti-abortion marchers unborn children have never had a stronger defender in the White House. He's absolutely right. He is the first president that has actually spoken at a anti-abortion rally. First president in history to ever do that and to speak on behalf of anti-abortion rights for the annual March for Life in person. First sitting president to ever do that. And, that's something. That's definitely something. Now, this abortion has always been a huge debate, and it kind of boils down to a lot of different things or a couple different things. What is kind of broken down from this? What has transpired? What has transpired? This has given them a push. It is emboldened the anti-abortion sector to continue their fight for the children. Because when you, at the core of all this, some people look at it as trying to take the right away from a mother to abort a child. But on the other hand, you can look at it as this is everyone defending the right of that unborn child to a life of their choosing, a life of their making. So I think this is a good thing. I don't support abortion. I don't like to tell anyone what to do with their body, but I don't support it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't ask my woman to do it if I had a woman. I don't believe in it from a spiritual and religious standpoint of view, and just from a person standpoint of view. I feel uneasy when people talk about neutering dogs, and animals and stuff like that. Taking away, clipping down life. I'm not down for that in any capacity. Certainly not this. So I thought that was a pretty good thing. Now a lot of this is probably pandering because this is a re-election year. He's campaigning, so probably just trying to shore up his base of evangelical Christians. From the political scientists in me, that's what that's telling me. All right. And then the last thing here that Trump's been on, President Donald J. Trump is safeguarding the right to religious freedom for students and organizations. So literally, the guy's putting prayer back in school. So Trump administration is taking action to further safeguard students' constitutionally protected right to pray in school. It's all right. You can still do it. President Trump is updating federal guidance regarding protected prayer and religious expression in public schools, which has not been issued since 2003. The update will safeguard students' right by giving education providers and students the most current information concerning prayer in public schools. To receive federal funds, local educational agencies must confirm that their policies do not prevent or interfere with the constitutionally protected rights outlined in the guidance. The update guidance will help improve individuals' ability to file a complaint if they are denied the ability to participate in protected religious expression. Okay. The new guidance makes clear that students can read religious texts or pray during recess or other non-instructional periods, organize prayer groups, and express their religious beliefs in their assignments. Promoting equal treatment, the administration is working to ensure that our nation's religious organizations are treated equally by the federal government. The administration is issuing 9 proposed rules to protect religious organizations from unfair and unequal treatment by the federal government. Proposed rules would eliminate burdensome Obama-era requirements that unfairly impose unique regulatory burdens only on religious organizations. And they're trying to comply with the First Amendment. So this was really good, allowing children to pray their way, not feel shunned, to show their religious affiliation, and be proud of what they believe in. I think that's really good. So of them, this guy is all over the place. He doesn't know if he wants to be a racist. He doesn't want to know if he wants to fight for your right to believe in what you want. He doesn't know, he supports non-abortion, but he was pro-choice before he started running. Trump will do anything for a vote. You feel me? He'll do anything for a vote. Let's be real. So that's interesting. This other portion I wanted to discuss, and then we'll get to the coronavirus. I wanted to talk about the Democrats, right? So let's see here. Oh, and before that, we wanted to talk about specifically let me see here. We'll go ahead and look at loan forgiveness plans. Bernie Sanders. All right. Oh, hold on. Here we go. This will be good. We're going to do Bernie Sanders versus Elizabeth Warren's debt forgiveness plans. This is for all my people that are in debt right now that would love to get some sort of loan forgiveness or cancellation of debt. This one's for you guys. All right. Let's take a look. Bernie Sanders versus Elizabeth Warren's debt forgiveness plans. In our effort to bring you the latest updates on things that might impact your financial life, we occasionally enter the political fray, covering candidates, bills, laws, and blah, blah, blah. All right, so if there's one thing the most of 2020 Democratic presidential candidates seem to agree on, it's time to make college tuition more affordable. I could not agree more. For some, that means tuition-free community college, expanding Pell Grants for students who come from a lower income background, and even making tuition completely free for undergraduates attending public colleges and universities. But what seems to be getting more attention is right now the candidates' proposals for assisting students in the future are the ideas of tackling the nation's current growing student debt crisis and helping the 43 million borrowers who already owe $1.6 trillion in student loans. It is crippling what is happening right now. Two of the more high-profile plans come out of 2020 campaigns so far are from Bernie Sanders, Senator Bernie Sanders, and Senator Elizabeth Warren. That's partly because the candidates are two of the most well-known names in the pack of Democratic hopefuls, and they've also provided more details than many other plans put forth. And both plans include some level of forgiveness for borrowers who are looking for debt relief. But the amount of forgiveness that is being offered, as well as other aspects of the two candidates' proposals, are very different. So who gets forgiveness? Sanders' plan indicates student loan forgiveness proposal is clear. Under his plan, all $1.6 trillion in student loan debt would be canceled, no matter what the borrower's background or income level. He's saying he's just straight canceling debt. 1.6, you have student loans? Poof, gone. Under Warren's plan, student loan forgiveness plan, debt cancellation will come in tiers based on income. Borrowers who earn $100,000 or less annually would be eligible for the maximum benefit of $50,000. Those who fall between $100,000 and $250,000 per year will receive a benefit that gradually phases down. The more you earn, the less debt will be canceled. And borrowers who earn more than $250,000 annually would not be eligible at all for forgiveness under the plan. So most of us that have gone to college or community college or some sort of plan where we took out student loans, most of us, for the most part, make less than 100K. That's going to be speaking to most people. And they would get the maximum benefit of 50,000 uh, off of the student loan. So even for somebody that ended up paying, 70,000 in student loans or has about 70,000 in student loans, that's still a awesome amount off of them, and would definitely decrease their payments considerably. Someone like myself that paid less than 50,000 for college, um, mine would be forgiven. So that sounds great. That sounds wonderful. And even for those making over 100,000, um, it would be tiered down. So that's how Elizabeth would do it. Elizabeth wants to do it in phases, and not everybody's going to get it. Bernie said, let's get rid of it all. All right. The feedback fans of Sanders' plan say everyone is equally deserving of a break when it comes to student debt. And on a practical level, they say it would be a struggle to evaluate each borrower's bona fides when deciding their eligibility for warrants income-based forgiveness. Critics of Sanders' plan, on the other hand, say eliminating all student debt may seem like the right thing to do, but in reality is the biggest benefit will go to wealthy families. The thinking is that those from wealthy families are more likely to access higher education and be high-income graduates like doctors, lawyers, and sometimes carry large amounts of student debt, but also end up in careers with higher salaries. Warren's plan has received some similar questions about who would benefit the most, but she says her plan is about targeting cancellation for families that need it most and would help close the racial wealth gap. We're all going to die from corona. Just wait. Oh, thank you, OP Creep Incorporated. I that's wow, great. We'll get to that. I'm going to try to keep you guys alive a little longer though with some helpful information. I don't got all the answers, but I think I can keep you guys alive longer. All right. Let's see. Warren's plan is blah, blah. She points out to a Brandeis University analysis that found her proposal would provide at least some debt cancellation for 95% of Americans with student loan debt and the complete student debt cancellation for more than 75%. Brandeis' report states that the policy would have a moderately positive effect on a racial wealth gap and also could have a cascading effect that would provide an overall boost to the economy. Critiques of both plans have questioned how fair debt forgiveness is for people who have already paid their loans and for those who made choices about where to go to school or where they should go to school at all based on their ability to pay. Basically sucks for you. All right. Now, this is the question. Who will pay for these programs? And this is what you really got to look at when it comes to loan and debt forgiveness. This is the nitty gritty. This is what you got to consider. Sanders wants to pay for a student loan forgiveness plan with a tax on stock market trades, which his campaign says will generate approximately $2.2 million over 10 years. His proposal includes hitting financial institutions with a 0.5% tax on all stock transactions and a 0.01 tax on bond trades and a 0.005 tax on derivative transactions. Warren is proposing a wealth tax. Families would pay 2%, 2 cents on every dollar of net worth above 50 million threshold and 3 cents on every dollar above 1 billion. This ultra millionaire tax, as she calls it, is projected to bring in 2.7 trillion over a 10-year period. So basically what they're saying is who's actually being taxed for this? Under Bernie's plan, those that invest in the stock market, which could be you, me, it could be Jeff Bezos, it could be Bill Gates, it could be Joe Rogan, any of us, those that invest in the stock market that will be taxed through Bernie's plan. Now, through Elizabeth Warren's plan, she's saying we need a wealth tax. So Let's see. Ultra millionaire tax. A small tax on the great fortunes of more than 50 million can bring in nearly 4 trillion to rebuild America's middle class. The 400 richest Americans currently own more wealth than all black households and a quarter of Latino households combined. Damn. So I guess their answer is to tax the wealthy. Let's see. Tax associated with Warren's student loan forgiveness plan would affect only the extremely wealthy, while Sanders' tax on Wall Street could end up touching anyone who invests money. Exactly. And that part of Sanders' plan is getting some pushback. The idea of financial transaction tax has been rejected in the past by those in government and business who say it could curb investing and suppress growth. In recent online commentary discussing the effect of this type of financial transaction, the history has proven such a tax never raises anywhere close to the revenue promise or wreaking havoc on the investors and market. So 0.01, 0.005%, and 0.5% is going to wreak havoc on the market. Interesting question. Canceled debt would not be taxed as an income under Sanders and Warren's plan. Sanders states clearly that his College for All Act, that amount forgiven will not be counted as gross income to be taxed by the IRS. Great. Warren also says forgiveness won't be taxed. She has low history to back that up. This is an issue that Sanders tackled before during her fight for loan forgiveness for tens of thousands of students who have been defrauded by Corinthian colleges, a failed for-profit college chain. So yeah, charge the rich, Elizabeth says, and Bernie says charge everybody. Hello, I'm worried. Let's see here. And then let's see. So which loan types will qualify for forgiveness? Loans to parents, federal and private student loans. So meanwhile, don't hold your breath or payment. They think even if something like this gets passed, let's say Bernie or Elizabeth actually win the presidency and this gets passed, it'll likely be modified and not look like how they have it currently in their campaigns. So that's what it boils down to. You know, loan forgiveness would be great for a lot of us. You know, a lot of us don't need $30,000 to $50,000 worth of debt on us because that's a lot of that's kind of keeping us from living our best lives. But some pushback says, do we want to, you know, end up paying all of our student loans off or end up paying for everyone's student loans off forever versus paying for ours? And you get a lot of pushback from Republicans about that. There was this guy that was upset that Elizabeth Warren, that he saved up for his daughter's college and that she wanted to go ahead and forgive college debt. And he said, well, I'm getting screwed because I did the right things. I tightened my belt and I paid for my daughter's college. And you're just going to give free college and forgiveness to everyone else? A lot of people are butthurt about that. They feel mad. They feel upset. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. You know, it almost seems like some people want others to suffer. They gauge their happiness by how much others are suffering, and their wealth and their value by how much others are suffering. You know, that's how they said they're going to pay for the plans. I mean, it seems like a negligible amount. And plus, I'd like to have it off as well. You know, I don't want to be paying what I'm paying for the next, 10 to 15 years. I could definitely use that extra money in my pocket. So just something to consider, something to think about. All right. So on to the thing that you all love, that you all want to talk about, the coronavirus. Woo, coronavirus. Hey, the coronavirus. You guys seem kind of hyped about this. I don't know why. And yeah, I would feel worried too. So let's take a look at this. Let's learn about the 2019 corona. And this is off the CDC website. So we're going to help you guys out with this one. All right. 2019 novel coronavirus. Again, ground zero, Wuhan, China. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, is closely monitoring the outbreak of respiratory illness caused by a novel new coronavirus, first identified in Wuhan, Hubei province, China. Chinese authorities identified the new coronavirus, which has resulted in more than 1,000 confirmed cases in China, including cases outside Wuhan City. Additional cases have been identified in a growing number of other international locations, including the United States. Yikes. There are ongoing investigations to learn more. So let's go ahead and take a look. So this is where the coronavirus is. People under investigation. There's 5 positives that they're saying. Let's see, 5 people that test positive for corona currently. I believe it's more actually right now. 32 negative, 73 pending, a total of 110 people that are in the United States that may or may not have the coronavirus from China. Right now, these are the current places that show that they have the coronavirus. Damn. Locations confirmed with the coronavirus. Canada, United States. Country is that? France? Yeah, France. We got China, Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan, Australia, Cambodia, Japan, Malaysia, Nepal, Singapore, Thailand, Republic of Korea, Vietnam. All these places have confirmed cases of the 2019 nCoV coronavirus. Shout out to everyone else that doesn't have it. Good for you guys. Hope it doesn't get to you. Let's take a look. There's ongoing investigation to determine more about this outbreak. This is rapidly evolving situation, and information will be updated as it becomes available. So the transmission. Identified as a case for an outbreak of a respiratory illness first detected in Wuhan. Early on, many of the patients in the outbreak in Wuhan, China, reportedly had some link to a large seafood and animal market, suggesting animal to person spread. Shit. However, a growing number of patients reportedly had not had exposure to animal markets, indicating person-to-person spreading is occurring. At this time, it's unclear how easily and sustainable the virus is spreading between people. But they've already quarantined Wuhan. Wuhan is shut down. Nobody getting in, no one getting out. How 2019 coronavirus spreads. Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses that are common in many different species animals, including camels, cattle, cats, and bats. Rarely, animal coronaviruses can affect people, and they spread between people, such as MERS and SARS. When person-to-person spread has occurred, with MERS and SARS, it is thought to have happened mainly via respiratory droplets produced when an infected person coughs or sneezes, similar to how influenza and other respiratory pathogens spread. SARS and MERS between people has generally occurred between close contacts. It's important to note how easily a virus spread person to person can vary. Some viruses are highly contagious, like measles, while other viruses are less so. It's important to know this in order to better understand the risk associated with the virus. While CDC considers this a very serious public health threat based on the current information, the immediate health risk of 2019 coronavirus to the general American public is considered low at this time. So hopefully don't be too worried about that. Let's go with prevention and treatment, right? There's currently no vaccine for the coronavirus currently. The best way to prevent infection is to avoid being exposed to this virus. However, as a reminder, CDC always recommends everyday preventive action to help prevent the spread of respiratory viruses, including washing your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If the soap and water are not available, use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. So that's game one. Go ahead and go to Walmart, get you the big old couple portables and a big old squirt tub of hand sanitizer. Go to Sam's Club. You'll be fine. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. People that bite their nails, chill. People that rub their eyes a lot or have dry eyes, get you some water, get you some clear eyes or some water droplets. Keep a handkerchief near you for your nose. I am not a doctor, but this is just common sense stuff. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. You see somebody sick, they're next to you, they're coughing and stuff. I don't care how it looks. Get you one of these face masks that cover your nose and your mouth. That'll save your life. Stay home when you're sick. Yeah, you don't want to spread it to other people. We know misery loves company, but that's not something that we want to do. So let's not do that. Cover your cough and sneeze with a tissue, then throw the tissue in the trash. Absolutely. Don't just open air it. That's disrespectful. And at this point, can be considered assault. So, or attempted murder. Clean and disinfect frequently, touch objects and surfaces. You go to Walmart, hit up the Dollar Tree. Again, there's no specific antiviral treatment recommended at this time. People that have been infected receive support care to help relieve symptoms. For severe cases, treatment should include a care to support vital organ function, because this kind of shuts you down. So those are a couple ways to protect yourself from the coronavirus. And something else that I was thinking about, if, God forbid this does spread by air, by sneezing, by getting the droplets on you, I think it would be appropriate maybe to go to your local Walmart or Home Depot and buy a couple air filters. That way, in case, God forbid it becomes airborne or something of that nature, you have one of those air filters that actually trap dust and trap, bacteria and particles like that. And make sure you have a couple of air filters on deck, at least 3. And then when you go to change it, make sure you have that face mask on, handle it with care. That's if it, gets over here in Florida. It seems like it's only in areas on the West Coast, which, would be people would easily get from China to the West Coast. So it's definitely not over here in the Florida area. Those people in California, be careful, be careful. Sneezing and coughing, that's how you get it. Cover that mouth, cover that nose. So, at this point, the coronavirus, it's they're trying to contain it as best as possible. But this is one of those situations, they this is all about it's a trip. It's a trip. There's not much more to say about this. Just protect yourselves. And I think everyone will be fine. Of course it would be in Illinois. Damn. Why, man? Why my home state? Oh, man. Not Illinois. Oregon, Washington, California, Arizona. See, I don't like it right there. Cause you see how it goes. We'll go from here to here. No, I don't want to scare you guys. The point is, those are some tips. use those tips to help keep yourself safe. And, if you do get this, there's no guarantee you're going to die. Just make sure you have the resources, continue to drink water, continue to try to move past it. If you get the virus and you survive it, at least your body will have created antivirus that would potentially, keep you from getting, another strain of this and will protect you in the future. But that is assuming you would survive. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys something. This is actually from, this is a look inside China and what they're currently dealing with this coronavirus. Now, I'm going to warn you, viewer discretion is advised. Some of the things you're going to see, as you see on the screen, it says coronavirus outbreak has people falling dead in streets of China. Nurse says it's a lot worse than what they're showing on TV. As much as 100,000 infected are dying. So I'm going to play this. Again, viewer discretion is advised. And let's go. I'm going to full screen this. There will be subtitles.
已经下班了，4点多钟下班，已经在那里崩溃了半天了，身体那种感染，别的电视那里报道的可怕不过了，蛮多，他们医生出来的估计大概有10万人，我们今天那里10几个医生。 一天都看了100多个，蛮多都已经不行了，我的位置就是，然后讲到这里老说政府的，不是说的你们那里治吗？但是政府让我们开始治，根本谁我物资都没有，他们想办治安都办不了，我觉得后续完全不行，我们在那上一天班，整个人的心里都快崩溃了。 都已经受不了了，他们在求我们的时候，我们都一点办法都没得，就看了一个好生生的人，叫他慢慢的都不行，所以你们在屋里一定要做好防护，千万不要分到这相信政府，我觉得全部都得要靠自己。
This is a person in the midst of the virus. People just falling out.
然后啊，起苗是咱们的了。
但是现在不还是这个模情况。
That's the Chinese government spraying disinfectant in Shanghai, just through the streets.
我们小区后头。
情况对你300公里了。 都是发高烧的，就在这个门诊部的中间。
那可是我去，这几个人在那房里面。
Isolation ward in Wuhan. This doctor's going in. He's been working shift back to back. He needs help. 4 shifts a day. He's at his breaking point.
不出来，千万别出来！这个事儿现在远远比你们想象当中要严重，知道吗？真的非常非常严重。看这里边，现在这是医院里边，已经什么样了？看见了吗？看着跟他妈生化危机，我操，跟他妈生化危机一样。
在集结，可能要。不了了。你之前知道跟你的通知吗？没有，你没有任何通知。他们那么大的年纪了，要等到甚至回去谈论过年，也没有办法。
All right. So, as you can see, that's, we hear one thing on the news, on TV, see one thing on the TV, on the news. That was video footage of the people in China. So it probably is a lot worse than how they're making it. They don't want to alarm people. The voice you heard in the beginning was a nurse that was talking about how she needs help and the government's pretty much making them fend for themselves. They're not getting the support that they need. And so make sure you do what you can. Protect yourself, your family. Always practice good hygiene. And, if you find that there are some cases in Florida, I'll leave the link to the CDC website. Check that maybe every week. If you find that there's a case in Florida, maybe find out what hospital that is. I don't think they're going to tell you who. And start wearing, those face masks, So yeah, this was This Week in the World. Does anyone want to come on, or is anyone any last words? Because we've gotten through all the content. We touched on Kobe Bryant. We touched on the disrespect, the legacy. We touched on politics regarding Trump, what he's done last week to this week. We didn't go into impeachment. That's still unfolding as it may. There's coverage every day, literally. You can go on YouTube, your TV. We discussed loan forgiveness and what that really means. And, will that be coming out of our pocket, the wealthy's pocket, everyone's pocket? Maybe I'll do a separate video touching on Democrats and the black vote. I think that'll be a good one. And then we have just went over the coronavirus. So that's going to be it for tonight. This was the 3rd episode broadcast of This Week in the World. And I hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you found something interesting. Hope you got some answers to a few things and got some insight to a whole bunch of things. We will continue to bring you breaking and interesting news, as well as things that are going on in the world. This is Real Talk, Real People. I always say context is everything, and I truly mean that. And I appreciate you guys for sticking with me. Shout out to you. This is Current Events. And we're out. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to, if you want to donate, enough for a brother to get a coffee and a donut in the morning, holla at me. No, I'm playing. Appreciate you guys. Have a great night. Bye-bye.